I don't know about you, Rosie. I had been bracing for this news and pretty much since October 17th when he left the Leafs lineup. But Toronto announcing yesterday Jake Muzzin shut down for the rest of the regular season and the playoffs due to cervical spine and that injury. Obviously, a gruesome injury, a scary injury. He's dealt with a lot the last couple years. They'll provide a further update on his status in September at training camp. First and foremost, we wish him the very best. I mean, that's paramount in this situation. But I ask you this: how much are the Leafs going to miss Jake Muzzin come playoff time, Rosie?
Yeah, I think big time. It's a big loss and it's a hole in their decor. There's no doubt about it. I think at this point in time right now, coming down the barrel of you know trade deadline, that's where they're looking. I think they are scathing through everything they can find to try to find a guy to replace Jake Muzzin. And there was like that smallest glimmer in the back of my mind where it's like maybe he's just been under the radar and he's starting to feel better and he's close to
Yeah.
skating, and it's like it's very wishful thinking, but at the end of the day we thought there was a very good chance this news was coming, and it goes from, oh, poor Maple Leafs, that's tough for the roster, to, man, I hope the guy's future is okay, I hope his family life is okay, I hope his personal health is okay. And you start to leave hockey behind and go into the guy's personal health and priorities like that. But it's a hole. It's a tough guy to fill, and yeah, it opens up some salary cap room with him in the long term IR. But it's not easy to get a guy to fill that spot, and I think right now that's where they're looking, because if he was healthy right now, I think as much of a weapon as this team is looking, I really think that inserting him into those guys you're looking at right now would be a major help.
Firstly, I think the Leafs deserve a lot of credit for pretty much moving on like nothing happened when they lost Jake Muzzin. But from a pugnacity standpoint, from a sandpaper standpoint, from just an accomplishment standpoint, what this guy has done in the Stanley Cup playoffs, you're going to miss that pedigree. There's no doubt about it. But I think guys like Giordano have really pulled their weight to an extent. Sandin, Liljegren, Brody, like these guys have all taken on more and have done a pretty adequate job. Now, I do agree with you. I think this has to be a level of concern for sure when it comes to management, replacing this type of player. They haven't done so far. I think that's a reason why they make that O'Reilly trade and include Minnesota, is to give them a bit more space to potentially go out and get somebody. Now, I don't know who that's going to be. Is it going to be an Ekholm? Are they going to swing big, or are they going to look at some depth pieces? But I think they have to find a way to bring in a guy like Jake Muzzin who is going to play that heavy brand, that heavy style. Jordy Ben to an extent can bring that. I don't know if that's going to be a lasting thing for like a 7-game series, but I do think they have to be looking in that direction right now.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We haven't seen much of Ben this year. I feel like he could be a
Yeah.
guy that could have stepped up and filled that role and filled that void. I like that the edge that he plays with a little bit, and if he's able to move that puck and just be super sound defensively, and then all of a sudden, you're banging and crashing, you're grabbing guys in scrums, you're blocking shots, all that playoff stuff could really help. So be nice if they were able to get him inserted and able to step up here and healthy, obviously. But it's going to be tough. I think if they were able to swing for the fences, they're going to do it. I think it's clear they're making
Yeah.
a push, and this is do or die. And they've retained a little bit of salary cap room to make something happen. But if they can't, and they can get someone that makes sense, it's more of a depth piece just to round off their decor a little bit, I think they'll do it. And it's going to be interesting. That's 100% where my mind is coming down the deadline here, that they're going to be scrambling to try to insert a quality D man in that back end.